Hello everyone, I'm Michalek, and today I'm going to be telling you the first story of my concert theme, Be Careful What You Wish For. This story is called What Happened to the Counselor. It is an excerpt from The Galoshes of Fortune, a tale by Hans Christian Andersen. A long time ago in East Street in Copenhagen, there was a huge party. And while the guests were mingling, the topic came up about the Middle Ages. And there was one man in particular, Counselor Knapp, and he was very adamant in saying that the Middle Ages was the best time period and certainly the most interesting. Further down in the party, there were two fairies. One was young, and she was the assistant to Fortune, and the other was older, and she was the Fairy of Care. Fortune's assistant had a birthday on that day, and therefore was carrying around the Galoshes of Fortune. Now these shoes, when put on someone's feet, had the ability to grant them whatever they wanted. And Fortune's assistant was so excited because she was ready to grant someone's wish and make them truly happy. But the Fairy of Care was not so excited about these shoes. She believed that people didn't know what they really wanted, and so therefore they would not be happy with these shoes, and in fact, they would actually make them sad. But they left the shoes there and let the story play itself out. And hours later, when Counselor Knapp was finally ready to go home, walked down the hallway and put on some shoes, and as fate would happen, they were the Galoshes of Fortune. So when he opened the door and walked out of the house, he was instantly transported back to the Middle Ages, the place where he most wanted to be, the place that he thought was most interesting. So he walked out and stepped down onto these dirty, dusty old roads. My, these roads aren't paved? How filthy, he thought. He walked out, and as he was walking along, he noticed he didn't recognize the buildings around him. He couldn't find his way. People would walk past him, and he thought they were just in weird costumes. They must be coming from a masquerade of some sort, he thought. But actually, they were people of the time period, dressed in appropriate clothing. He kept wandering around and came to a place where he'd normally crossed a bridge. And instead of a bridge, he found two men in a boat. He tried asking for directions for the bridge to cross his way home, but these men didn't understand him, and they didn't know what he was looking for it didn't exist yet. So the Counselor Knapp got easily frustrated and walked away. As he was walking away, he noticed that he really didn't feel well. It must be the punch I had, but I only had one glass. Ugh. So he kept on walking along and went into an inn when he really didn't feel well at all. Once again, he tried asking for directions, he asked for a cab, but the people there didn't understand him any better. He got easily frustrated with these people once again, and he found them arrogant and ignorant. They weren't well read, they didn't understand the times, and least of all, they couldn't help him. So he just decided to walk out of the bar, and as he was walking out, he stumbled past some people, and in his stumbling, the shoes came off of his feet. Since the shoes came off of his feet, he went back to his time period and ended up right in front of the house that he had just left the party. He looked up, he was like, "My, I've been dreaming on this stoop the entire time? That punch really must have gotten to me more than I thought." He felt better, so he stood up and walked his way home, glad to be back in his own time. And so, the Fairy of Care was right in the fact that he really didn't know what he wanted, and those shoes did not make him happy. And that's the story of What Happened to the Counselor in The Galoshes of Fortune by Hans Christian Andersen. I hope you guys liked the story, and thanks for watching.